खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum et bienvenue à l'émission Cette Semaine avec le Calife. Samedi dernier, Sa Sainteté le Calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien, a inauguré la mosquée Baitus Salaam à Scunthorpe au Royaume-Uni. Nous avons l'honneur de vous présenter les points forts de l'événement et le discours principal prononcé par le Calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien. Le samedi 17 juin, Sa Sainteté le 5e Calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien, a inauguré la mosquée Baitus Salaam à Scunthorpe au Royaume-Uni. Sa Sainteté le Calife a voyagé d'Islamabad à Scunthorpe, dans le nord du Lincolnshire. À son arrivée, Sa Sainteté le Calife a dévoilé une plaque et a dirigé une prière silencieuse.
दुआ कर लें.
अहले वफा के प्यार का सामा तुम ही तो हो, इस अरमान का अरमा तुम ही तो हो, अहले वफा के प्यार का सामा. Sa Sainteté le Calife a visité le bâtiment et a planté un olivier. Le calife a ensuite dirigé les prières de Dhuhr et d'Asr. Les membres de la Jamaat locale ont eu l'occasion de prendre des photos avec Sa Sainteté le Calife. Le calife a également rencontré les dignitaires présents pour l'inauguration. Peu après, une réception s'est tenue dans les locaux de la mosquée en présence de plus de 60 invités et dignitaires. L'événement a débuté par une tilawa. Les dignitaires ont ensuite accueilli le calife et ont exprimé leurs sentiments sur l'inauguration de la mosquée. L'émir régional a évoqué l'histoire de la mosquée et les divers défis lors de sa construction.
This beautiful mosque that you see has a history spanning back more than 20 years. In 2002, the community applied to council for permission to buy a bungalow to offer our prayers in that bungalow. After more than a decade, the bungalow became unfit for purpose, and we went back to council for permission for a purpose-built mosque on the site of the original bungalow. Then the day came for councillors to make a decision. I still recall the sight of some Scunthorpe locals rioting outside the bungalow and outside the meeting hall at the time of council meeting. Again, on the day, the councillors ignored political interests and put aside their own personal views and indeed went against peer and public pressure to grant the permission for Scunthorpe's first ever built mosque.
I say welcome Your Holiness to Scunthorpe. I hope that you will find it as wonderful as I find it. I visited the mosque here before. It was a wonderful day, a sunny day as it is today. And I said that day that I felt very much that I was among friends, and I feel that here today. I want to say a huge welcome to everybody who's here. I know many people have come from out of the area. It's a wonderful day to be with you all here today. It's a privilege to be here. I'm very grateful to be here and to have had the opportunity to speak to His Holiness.
It's a great occasion that brings our communities together. We heard earlier about the challenges that you faced when seeking planning permission in those early days. And I think it's a tribute to all parts of the community that we've managed to come together and put aside to a great extent the differences, and occasions like this are absolutely important in doing that. I know, as I'm of the Christian faith and I'm a regular worshipper, so I know how important your religious faith is, and it's absolutely vital that we come together and respect each other's communities, each other's faith, and recognise that though we may have some differences, we all seek a peaceful, loving, compassionate community. And I'm delighted to be here on this occasion for the inauguration.
Humble beginning of just 3 families, the Scunthorpe Ahmadiyya Muslim community has grown to a membership of over 200. I am honoured to meet His Holiness and look forward to meeting all the members of the community attending here today. I have researched a little about the Ahmadiyya Muslim faith and recognise similar values between your faith and those that I, as Mayor of North Lincolnshire, try to uphold and promote. The Ahmadiyya community motto is love for all, hatred for none, which conveys unity and inclusion. Your faith is one that promotes peace and harmony, something the world needs right now.
Sa sainteté le calife a ensuite prononcé le discours principal dans lequel il a évoqué les enseignements de paix que prône l'islam.
Given the climate in which we live, where there is a tendency to view Muslims with a degree of suspicion or even as extremists based on the portrayal of Islam in the media and the conduct of a few extremist individuals and groups in recent times. As a result, some of you may even fear that the opening of this mosque will lead to a new chapter in the history of extremism being written in your local community. In this regard, rest assured that nothing could be further from the truth. Islam's teachings are diametrically opposed to all forms of extremism or terrorism. Islam rejects all forms of violence and teaches peace and harmony and desire for the people of all beliefs and religions to live amicably together with the spirit of mutual tolerance and compassion. It calls for members of society to unite as human beings, irrespective of their differences, in a common cause of establishing peace and security for all mankind. In terms of the objectives of mosques, on one occasion, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, peace be upon him, stated that if a person wishes to raise awareness of Islam in any town or place, they should build a mosque in that area. By this, he meant that if a mosque is built, non-Muslims will naturally come to observe Islam's teachings and see how it promotes a spirit of love, peace, and brotherhood amongst all people. They will see with their own eyes that where Muslims are duty-bound to fulfill the rights of Allah, the Almighty, the teachings of Islam also require them to fulfill the rights of humanity and to seek the very best of all people, irrespective of their faith and beliefs. Wherever Muslims build mosques, they are built to emulate and spiritually mirror the true objectives of the first house of God, the Holy Kaaba in Mecca, which is the most sacred and holy place in Islam. Indeed, it is in the direction of the Holy Kaaba that every Muslim turns towards whilst offering their prayer. Regarding the Kaaba, chapter 3, verse 98 of the Holy Quran states that whosoever enters the sacred house of Allah enters peace meaning that a true Muslim, upon entering a mosque, shall himself enter a state of peace and shall be a guarantor of peace and security for others. There are many other Quranic statements that further testify to the peaceful teachings of Islam. For example, chapter 25 of the Holy Quran states, "And the true servants of the gracious God are those who walk on the earth humbly, and when the ignorant address them, they avoid them gracefully by saying peace." In this verse, Muslims are commanded to remain humble and patient when subject to harassment and to avoid conflict or disputes. In People of the Book, the Prophet Muhammad's encounter with Christians, the American academic Dr. Craig Considine, who has researched early Islamic history, very diligently states Muhammad and the believers of the early Ummah and Muslim community created a nation founded upon allyship, civility, cross-cultural interactions, freedom of conscience, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, inter-religious dialogue, mutual dependency, and religious pluralism. Accordingly, these are the immaculate standards of religious freedom according to Islam. In short, Islam's teachings oblige us to live peacefully and to coexist with other people. It requires us to serve our communities, to strive to enrich them and contribute to their development. Now this mosque has been opened. I am sure that local people in Scunthorpe and the surrounding areas will see for themselves these true Islamic values in practice.
I think it was a really lovely day. Very grateful for the invite. From start to finish, everyone was very welcoming, very friendly. And the speech itself from His Holiness, it was so lovely to hear and just taught us as well so much about your community.
Very thoughtful.
Yes, very informative actually. Yes, we've heard a few speeches, but it definitely it had an air of peace and humanity to it, which I think is very pertinent to what's happening in today's society. So it was we were very privileged to hear it. Yeah, thank you.
Very measured. We watched the Ahmadiyya community grow since its inception, and the sense of community is real. You know, it's genuine, and I think it's going to be a huge asset to the town.
When you're looking at His Holiness, you've got to think to yourself, this man has a world to go round, but he's made room today to come down to open the mosque for everybody to see. He did a wonderful speech. He explained to people what things goes on and how it's done. I remember the one he said about over the years they raised money to put wells in other countries. That's a wonderful gift to give to other countries.
The message was very clear. The teachings of Islam do not preach what people's perceptions can be of Muslims and Islam, and his message was very clear that they're here for peace and to work together and respect, and a lot of work that this community does in other areas of the world and in the country as well.
I thought it was an amazing address, really inspiring. I thought the themes that was focused on there around peace and around love and everybody at the community coming together were really inspiring. And you know, it was just great to witness that speech and to have the opportunity to hear what was said.
C'était là les points forts de l'inauguration d'une mosquée le week-end dernier. Nous terminons maintenant par le résumé du sermon du vendredi. Dans son dernier sermon du vendredi, Sa Sainteté le Calife a évoqué les préparatifs de la bataille de Badr. Sa Sainteté le Calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien, a relaté un incident au cours duquel les compagnons ont promis de soutenir le saint prophète, paix soit sur lui, dans tout ce qu'Allah lui ordonnerait d'accomplir.
जब रसूल करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को ये इत्ला मिली کہ قریش کا لشکر تجارتی قافلے کے بچاؤ کے لیے بڑا چلا آ رہا ہے، تو رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے صحابہ کرام سے مشورہ طلب کیا اور انہیں قریش کی صورتحال سے آگاہ کیا۔ اس پر حضرت ابوبکر رضی اللہ عنہ اٹھے اور بڑی خوبصورت گفتگو کی۔ پھر حضرت عمر رضی اللہ عنہ اٹھے، انہوں نے بھی بڑے خوبصورت انداز میں گفتگو کی۔ پھر حضرت مقداد بن عمر اٹھے اور عرض کی، یا رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم تشریف لے چلیے جدھر اللہ تعالیٰ نے آپ کو حکم دیا، ہم آپ کے ساتھ ہیں، بخدا ہم آپ کو وہ جواب نہ دیں گے جو جواب بنی اسرائیل نے حضرت موسیٰ کو دیا تھا کہ فَاذْهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَا إِنَّا هَاهُنَا قَاعِدُونَ، جا تو اور تیرا رب دونوں لڑو، ہم تو یہیں بیٹھے رہیں گے، بلکہ ہم یوں کہیں گے کہ آپ اور آپ کا رب تشریف لے جائیے اور جنگ کیجیے، ہم بھی آپ کے ساتھ مل کر جنگ کریں گے۔ اس ذات کی قسم جس نے آپ کو حق کے ساتھ مبعوث فرمایا ہے، اگر آپ ہمیں برق الغماد تک بھی لے جائیں تو ہم آپ کے ساتھ چلیں گے۔